Hey guys, thank you for joining me again. I know that Morbid is gonna start something around 7:30. Um, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna make this quick so that we're not keeping people from going to Morbid's channel. Can you guys hear me? I know that you're seeing something. Let me stop that. Let me stop that. Hang on. Let me stop that.
And recently,
All right, let me stop that. Okay, so can you guys hear me? You guys can. Okay, hello. Hey, hey, everybody. How is everybody doing? Thank you for joining me again. I did put up I didn't put it up yet. I was making a video about Mike Rinder, and I want to put it out there, and I want 50% of the money that video to generate to go to either Children USA or the Aftermath Foundation. And I think that we will decide on where it goes. And if it makes enough money, it could go to both. We could split it in half and go to both. But 50%, I have to pay 30% in taxes. And so 50%, you know, anyway, okay, guys. You're popping your popcorn right now. I'm not being plugged for this, but I think I found the best popcorn. It is Paul Newman's. I wouldn't care what the brand is. Please understand that means shit to me. But it's Paul Newman's slightly buttered and it's slightly salted and it's excellent. And guys, I started my diet on the 31st of the month of last month, and so far I haven't checked my weight, but I know that I'm doing really good as far as my diet goes. Thanks, Holly Jolly. Always looking out for me. Guys, this woman's been following me since there was 44 people, and she's always helping me out, and I am going to be reaching out to her again so that she could. I'm just putting this out there, Holly Jolly. You don't have to help me, but a little bit of pressure here. I have spoken to her about this, about you know, helping us find a place that donates wheelchairs, that we could donate money to this place. And she has been very patient. I've been finding out from my accountant what is actually needed so that we know that we are donating to a legitimate place, because there is no tax write off for me until I donate $13,000 or more totally. And guys, unfortunately, I am far from that. But we're still going to do what I said because it's very important. It is very important. And I'm going to show you everything just like I've always promised. Now, let's get into this, because I might even try to get on Morbid's panel tonight. It depends. I'm sorry. A little belchy there. Okay. Here we are, guys. Let's do it.
hey guys, it's Fancy, and you're watching the Good Wives Network. And recently, the more
Got to stop it right there because of the recently, like, here's the thing. I know that Fancy was an actor, but when you know somebody's acting, that's not a good actor. And Fancy takes a certain tone. Everybody has a tell. And I know this because I was in the witness protection program, and there were things that I picked up, things that I learned, things that, you know, one of the officers I kind of had a crush on. So, I always found questions to ask him. And I also started writing scripts when I think I wrote my first script when I was 14. And that was during the time of the witness protection program. I wrote my first song when I was 12. So I think I wrote my first script when I was 14. And I would ask this U.S. Marshal questions. And, everybody has a tell. And you can see it if you pay attention, but you have to act like a fly on the wall. And that's the truth. I have a tell. So But Fancy is acting. Let's do that again because let's make it worth it. And an encore, Fancy, please, just for us.
And recently, hey guys, it's Fancy, and you're watching the Good Wives Network. And recently,
it doesn't even sound good. It just sounds bitchy and old. Let's go on.
the Morbid panel has taken to attacking me on a regular basis. And they're all very upset because I called them out about their non-vigil vigil and that
That's not why people were upset. People were upset because you went on another channel and you started bashing what people were doing. In the meantime, you didn't go there. And the last time you went somewhere fancy, look at what it turned into. So you were upset because Pink Pony went into a place, bought a ticket so that she could record for us. What was she doing that was wrong? And you have a problem that she bought a ticket. She bought a ticket to go there. What'd you expect her to do?
they were rude and hateful and bullying at the non-vigil vigil. That
Who was hateful and bullying at the non-vigil vigil? There was no sign of that. The worst hateful bullying at the vigil non-vigil was when they escorted Pink Pony out.
that they were only there to cause chaos and to disrupt Gypsy's book signing, which they
Where was that? Where was that? Where was that? Was Pink Pony going to stand up and pull up her shirt and hold the book and say, Gypsy Rose? I mean, where was that? I think maybe in a question, she might have asked, maybe the worst I think she would have done is say, hey, how'd you get away with MURDER? Maybe, or how do you feel about Nick? She never got the chance to do anything, but while she was getting asked to leave, all she was doing was sitting there, minding her own business. A lot different than sending somebody up to a table to interrupt people from having breakfast.
proved. And so they are very angry with me. And now Morbid has posed the question, what has Fancy done for this case that I couldn't have done? Are you serious? Did you fall down and smack your little head on the pavement, Morbid? I am the only reason that you're relevant at all.
Guys, can you hear me? I just can't believe. I just can't believe that she has the audacity to say such things. Morbid is only relevant. She is only relevant because he is only relevant. I'm sorry, I was reading the chat. I try not to read the chat, honestly, but here's the thing. I just want to tell you something. In order for me to stop this, the only, to pause it and to even see it closely is to go into another screen. However, when I go into the other screen, I cannot see your comments. I can't even see my face. So I don't even know if I'm in camera. All I know is that that's the only place that I can honestly go to turn the comment, to not turn the comments, but to turn the video on and off. So that's why I'm there sometimes. Now I've stopped being there. I'm over in the screen that I could talk to you guys in and see what you've said. So I'm sure that there's something I'm doing wrong, but that's the way it is. I just want you to understand what's going on with me. And so I have to go to another screen to see to I have to go to another screen. That's why I don't like vibes. I have to go to another screen to stop the video, pause the video. Okay. I can't do that from the screen I'm on that allows me to read the comments. So please understand that. I'm really sorry about that, all that mess up, guys. Okay. So I think that's a lot of nerve for Fancy to say Morbid, I'm going to enjoy him chewing her up and spitting her out tonight. But it gets better because I know I interrupted that, but wait, because it doesn't stop at Morbid.
Nina, Becca.
Nina! Nina! My favorite beauty influencer. Nina, you are the only one that is. Nina, you are not relevant because of you, not because of all of your hard work, not because of how you pissed off the Blanchard family so much so that they got you fired from your job, not because you're spot on so much, Nina.
All of you,
Because,
at least.
wait a minute, but because, shut up, Fancy, but because of Fancy and Becca Scoops. Can you please put your friggin' license away and your degree away and stop talking to your partner because, his degree doesn't matter either. You are only relevant because Fancy has been gracious enough to allow you to be. Fancy, shame on you. Shame on you for thinking that people are going to believe that about you. Shame on you. You don't know how silly you sound. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this in 45 minutes before his live. Let's go.
Nina, Becca, all of you, at least.
All of us. Wait a minute. I want to go back. Guys, I'm going to stop. I don't want to I'm going to stop going back. I don't want to stop going back to the comments. But I don't want to do this like this either. But anyway, let's just keep going, I guess. I guess we'll just keep going. Oops. All right.
The pavement, Morbid. I am the only reason that you're relevant at all. Nina, Becca, all of you, at least in the game of Gypsy Rose. Now, you might be relevant in all other things all by your damn selves. But if you're relevant here, it's because I made you relevant. And you don't believe me? Well, that's really funny. Because right before your non-vigil, Becca reached out to me. She wanted help. Remember, she said it all on your podcast, on one of your 9-hour lives where you just rant and trash people. Yep, she made a big old statement about how she needed help, my help even, putting together a whole thing that she was going to do.
So let's understand. Becca said publicly that she needed help and wanted to reach out to Fancy for help. I think that's a big thing of Becca's. I think that's a big thing of Becca's. I want you guys to understand something. It is of dirt that she explains. Fancy explains. It is of dirt, not of the medical records, not of what happened with Gypsy and her mom that night or Nick. None of that. The dirt of the Blanchard family. That is not something that Becca claim to have any kind of expertise in or anything. That shit has always been speculation when she's touched on it a little bit. She has touched on things, Becca Scoops, that have been medical, and she has not asked Fancy for shit. And being that they're not Fancy's medical records, what have you done? I'm looking you in the eye.
A video on Christy Blanchard. Now, what you may not know.
Again, she said she reached out to her to make a video on Christy Blanchard because she was supposedly friends with them. Okay, she was used by them. But so she only knows what they wanted her to know. Let's explain that too, and let's understand that. Fancy only knows what the Blanchards wanted her to know because they played her. They played her just like they've played everybody. So they haven't shown Miss Maselli here their cards because they played her. So let's understand again. Becca Scoop said publicly on Morbid's panel, according to Fancy, that, Fancy, I'm going to reach out to you because you might have information about this. And I'm hoping we could work together. That's a big deal, I think, for Becca Scoops, because like I had said before, I can't give out too much information. I'm not. But behind the scenes, there were content creators reaching out to do something. And I am glad that we found out Fancy can't be a part of that.
And she didn't want me to tell anybody, was that she offered me $200 to do so.
I would like to see proof that Becca told you that she didn't want you to tell anybody. Now, there's two things here. Did Becca not want you to tell anybody that she was going to pay you? Or did Becca not want you to tell anybody that she was reaching out to you? Because a little bit of I want. And, how Becca spends her money isn't anybody's business. And if Becca felt like, let me give Fancy some money, but I'm not giving everybody money. So I don't want that out there. Then you know what? I understand that. So that to me, doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything.
Why? Because I'm the only one that has that information.
You are the only one besides Katie Joy that has the information about what kind of slime balls these people are, except for people like Bree as well. But didn't you say you never met them, Fancy? Everything was over the phone. Am I, wrong with that? And Katie Joy too. I kind of want to leave Katie Joy out of this, but am I wrong, or did you never meet them? Everything was over the phone and text messages and all that. I know that you never met Gypsy. So, again, they showed you what they wanted to show you, and you did for them what they wanted you to do for them. So, again, I'm looking you in the eye. So, I don't know who is so smart there. But yeah, to have that kind of relationship about being used by the Blanchards, yeah, I would say that there's only a handful of people. Well, a little bit more than a handful of people that they've done that to.
You don't have it. You didn't have a personal relationship with her. You didn't see all the evidence, the medical records deal with these people for almost 3 years.
She's seen the medical records now because guess what, Fancy? They don't belong to you. Becca Scoops could get them herself. They don't belong to you. And you know what? You took them and you put them up for people to purchase them. I don't even know what to say about that. To take somebody's medical records and put them behind a paywall. I didn't buy them. I didn't buy them. But if people bought them You can't get pissed because you put them there. And if people sent them, because I mean, people sent them to me, I didn't buy them. And if Becca Scoops used them, they weren't yours. What Becca Scoops went through in those medical records and put together the videos that she put together, and you going through them and taking you so long to get to what she got to, she got there on her own with the medical records and with the shit that's been said with Gypsy's own mouth and Rod's own mouth about the chromosome depletion or the chromosome deletion. And it took her 8 months to get there. It took you years. You don't know how bad you look here. You don't know how bad you look here.
You have not been bullied and trashed by them for the last 7 for trying to tell the truth. And in my opinion, allegedly, for entertainment and educational purposes only and to bully no one, I do believe that you and Nina are working together with Lifetime.
Now let's talk about something for a minute here. Okay. Excuse me. I believe for sure that Fancy Maselli worked for some of these publications or some of these production companies. I know that in fact she has, and not as on the dating game or Saved by the Bell extra shit and all that. But honestly, because that's how Dee Dee's narrative got out to the mainstream media, was by Fancy's, knowing the case and going through the medical records and getting it wrong. So let's get that correct. So well done for you, Fancy. I lost my train of thought there. You guys might need to help me. I might have to go back to that window. So wait a minute, let me go back and I will find it. This is the problem with lives, but my problem, not yours.
For entertainment and educational purposes only
I
and to
hate
bully
when
no
she
one,
says that.
I do believe that you and Nina are working together.
The Lifetime thing. Okay. Nina, I believe they did use in one of the seasons, and Nina was excited and she got on her YouTube channel. I mean, her TikTok and possibly YouTube channel as well, and said that they reached out to her and that some of her stuff was going to be on the show. Now, this was a long time ago. If they're going to make a season 3 and expose the hell out of Gypsy Rose Blanchard, I don't have any problem with Nina and Becca Scoops or anybody getting out there and telling the right story, the story to correct your wrong story, to have the correct narrative, to fix your wrong narrative. Fancy. No problem with that at all. And if they are working with Lifetime, they're very much exposing Gypsy for what she did to Nick and for what she did to her mom. So I what does it matter? Now I'm going back to the chat to see if what I've missed from you guys. And I apologize because this has taken a while. All right, I'm back at the chat where I can't make the thing go. I just wanted to see if I've missed anything about you. Yes, Fancy is her own worst enemy. Did I miss anything, guys? Oh, so you guys are talking about snow. I'm here working my ass off, guys. And you're talking about snow? Okay. What? Toddy, I keep missing something. I don't know. You know what? I could believe this. And let me tell you something. Becca Scoops, I trust her. 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 I have no doubt that she will get on here and roast the out of Nancy tonight. So, yeah. Why are you sorry? Jamie, why are you sorry, Jamie? All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Are you guys enjoying this at all? And are we doing okay? Am I doing this okay? Because again, I got to go to the other channel. Like I said, not the other channel, but the other page, and I can't. I trust Becca too. All right. Snow tornadoes. No, what are we talking about? This snow tornadoes. I don't understand. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Together with Lifetime. And I will continue to say that. And you can continue to call me insane.
You'd be
But what I
jealous
do
of
have is
that.
proof that Becca offered to pay me to help her out with that video. You know, the video that didn't get produced before Christmas. You know why? Because without me, Becca ain't got shit. Let me show
Becca has put together outstanding videos that you could look in the comments that people call her the OG, not you, Fancy. They call her the OG. You could look at how many views she has. That is because of her presentation and her know-how and her experience and the way that she puts things together and the research that she does. Regardless of where the research comes from, she gets the research, right? Even if it means dealing with you or trying to deal with you. But you're pissed off because what did I miss again? I'm sorry. I don't mean to go off on her, but she just, I feel like who was it? Sanford and Son, Fred Sanford. Okay. So I mean, let's see what I missed. Not that what I missed, but I went off on something and I apologize. I really do. But the thing I just can't stand. Fancy, what a disappointment you were to me. Because I thought, oh, here's somebody that thinks the same way I think. I thought it. You had evidence of the micro deletion. I just knew she unalived her mom because she was vicious. And I didn't believe in the Munchausen by proxy. That was all because of what Gypsy did. That had nothing to do with you, Fancy. When I started looking for like minded people, you were the loudest. You were the loudest, and you had known the family. But you didn't know Gypsy when this happened. You didn't know Dee Dee at all. And you helped perpetrate shit for apparently 7 years. And it took Becca Scoops 7 months. So that's what I was talking about. Becca Scoops puts out first class productive videos and videos with first class production. And you're pissed because look at her views, look at her memberships. I mean, her subscribers. I don't know how many members. Look at her subscribers. And she put all that out. She reached out to you when? A month ago, maybe? What about all the videos previous to that? She reach out to you about those? I'd like to see those receipts. She reach out to you about those?
you know, the video that didn't get produced before Christmas. You know why? Because without me, Becca ain't got shit. Let me show you. Alrighty, so these are emails between me and Becca. And the first one here, you'll have to pause to read and zoom in since it's a little small. But basically, we talked on the phone after she offered me the $200. We sat and we talked, and I would discuss with her what we would be doing and what exactly she was looking for. So first, she says, "Thanks for a great conversation. I really enjoyed speaking with you. After giving this much thought, I think it might be easier for you to send me all the text emails surrounding Christy and Gypsy, and I can sort them out myself." Oh, I'm sure you think you can, Becca. I'm sure. But see, the thing is that's worth a whole hell of a lot more than $200, and it sure as shit wasn't what we originally talked about.
So, excuse me, nothing's wrong with the way Rebecca greeted her. What's she gonna say? Yo, man, you're unhinged, but I want some information that you have. Nope, really great talking to you. Da da da. Let's work together. Da da da. Can you send this information now? What I read between the lines is I don't want to wait for you. can you just send it to me so I could start working on it? Because I don't want to be on your schedule, Fancy. I want to work on my schedule. So please, and let me pay you for it as an incentive to maybe, see if money motivates you to maybe send me the information. That's what I got from what, Becca Scoops probably meant.
Then I can ask you to clarify these things as I dive into the documents. Once I get the text, emails, etc., I will send you the $100 because she told me she'd send me $100 beforehand and $100 after with the project was finished. Just give me your details of where I could send the money. After the video airs, I will send you an additional $100. This should be done before Christmas. Thanks again, Fancy Becca. So I wrote her back. And I told her, sounds good. I have a lot to pull together. I will work on this week and get you what you need. And I started thinking,
That's the response she gave Becca back. Not a problem. I'll work on this stuff and I'll get it back to you. That's what Becca knows because that's the correspondence that Fancy shared with her.
thinking about it, and that's why I had not sent it back to her, because I was waiting till after all of the vigil and everything died down, and I wanted to talk with her about it, because there was no way I was just going to hand over all of my text messages.
But that's not what she said. That's not what she said. What she said was, yep, I'll get that stuff together to you and send it to you. I have a lot of stuff.
Emails between me and Gypsy and me and Christy to her. Why would I do that? That wouldn't be good for me, nor for the
Then why didn't you just tell her, no, that's not a good idea. I'd rather not do that.
truth of the story, because you're looking at things you don't even understand what we were talking about half the time. But hey, whatever. So then the vigil happened, and I wrote her originally because I was upset that they were saying shit about me on the panel when I left. But Becca hadn't said anything yet. She wasn't on panels.
So Becca didn't say anything. So you were pissed off and complaining about what her friends did. Or what are we in high school?
She had left. And then she decided she was going to come back to trash me. And this is what I wrote before she trashed me. And then I'll read what I wrote after she trashed me. So I said, well, this was a disappointing shit show. I was not saying the thing the chat said, I said. I stated I felt the fat shaming was uncalled for, and I left. I said that I felt this should have been organized better. And if people were raising funds, then it should have gone to fly.
Let's understand this. What she did, because I watched this as it was happening. She got off of Morbid's channel. Didn't say anything. Just got off of Morbid's channel, and Morbid was looking for people to step down so he could get more people on his panel, or as Dreamer would say, panel, or spell panel. Anyway, so she went on to another stream, and I think it was Katie Joy's stream, and that was live, and Fancy started bashing the Morbid panel. And that's what happened. Real time. That's what I saw.
And spreading awareness, and not for just the four people's dinner. This was a travesty, in my opinion, and Lifetime and Krusty got exactly what they wanted. I would never, ever have supported anyone buying a ticket. If I'd known that, I would have advised 100% against that. So tonight was such a sad and missed opportunity, and now the Yahoos have caused more dissension and shit for me. Lovely. I have made it very clear I don't do physical looks shaming thing. I don't agree with it.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And you do it to Christy. You do it to Gypsy. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I didn't say anything I wouldn't say to Morbid's face then or now or any of the panel. But the chat is horrible, and they then came in and tried to start shit in my life. Like, why? I left, and I have a right to.
I'll tell you why, Fancy, because you have become so unhinged and so toxic and vile that people do not like you. You claim to have all this information that nobody else had, yet you do not have the subscribers. You do not have the support from a lot of people, and that, Fancy, is because of your behavior, because of you yelling and screaming, and instead of just You just yell and scream, and I'm pretty sure somebody sent me a friggin' video of you beating your dog.
My opinions. So that was my original thing, writing back to her. I wasn't pulling out yet. I still wanted to discuss it with her. I still thought maybe we could salvage this and somehow make it work properly. No.
Was it because $200 was on the table? That's what I want to know. Was it because of the $200 fancy or what?
And Becca decides to double down, come back on the panel and trash me. So this is the next email that I sent her. I said, well, I wrote that to you before I saw what you said to me about me. Okay. I stated it was sad that this didn't get planned well, and it didn't. No, I was not asked to help, by the way, by people saying he let Morbid do this, so it's not about you. I seriously am beyond hurt, and you showed who you were tonight. My reason for going live started off with being frustrated with the body shaming of Brie. It was unbecoming and made this look like an effort to bully. So if that's what you're all about,
wait a minute. So it's okay. It's okay to take advantage of somebody. You can't body shame somebody who's been really nasty to Nina. Racist, nasty, body shame Nina, making fun of Nina. And you can't, and Nina and Becca, I don't know this, but they seem to be friendly, and you know, I didn't hear Becca. I heard Nina. And I don't have a problem with what Nina did because of all that shit that all the shit that they've done to Nina, that stuff, where did that go? Of course it's still inside of Nina. And if Nina saw that, oh, there's a release button here, look at that person, I ain't mad at Nina for that. I'm not mad at her for that. Uh that's between Nina and Brie. I think that the problem here, and you're so vile, fancy, that you can try to spin this any which way. And the truth of the matter is that, you just don't like when the shit lands on you. And you want to get people behind you in this, and it's not. And you're pissed because of something you heard, and then you're pissed off because Becca's pissed because of something she heard. And it's like it's a bunch of hypocrisy is what it is, to be honest with you. That's what it is, bunch of hypocrisy.
It was unbecoming and made this look like an effort to bully. So if that's what you're all about, then go do that. I will not be helping out with whatever else you have going on. You went off what people were saying, I said, and so now I'm done.
You started by going off with what people were saying. That's what you said because you were in the chat. I mean, you were on a live stream with Katie Joy and you started going off on what people were commenting on that stream. That's the hypocrisy. That's what I'm talking about. I think this thing repeats. You know what I'm saying? So, what? Come on, man. Come on. But I feel like I missed something, so hang on.
Do this, so it's not about you. I seriously am beyond hurt, and you showed who you were tonight. My reason for going live started off with being frustrated with the body shaming of Brie. It was unbecoming and made this look like an effort to bully.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. I'm sorry. It's not okay to body shame Brie, who totally ripped apart Nina, but it's okay to have a friend take you to Chillicothe, Missouri, and then set her up for something that we videoed. You put it on live so that we could see it. And then you get pissed again because we see it and it looks like you coerced Sarah into going and talking to Mike Stanfield and the other guy, and you're yelling in the background so we hear you. Yeah, she's a media guy, and all that shit. And then you say you didn't do that, and then you accuse her of kidnapping. But you had the GUN. So I wouldn't be giving advice or talking about how somebody's behaving about somebody else, because the last I checked, Nina nor Becca ever accused each other of kidnapping each
other. So if that's what you're all about, then go do that. I will not be helping out with whatever else you have going on. You went off what people were saying, I said, and so now I'm done.
You always go off on what people say.
So I was done, and I'm done with this crew and have been for quite some time now. If you've noticed, I haven't been over there very much. The vigil was one of my first appearances in a long time because I don't agree with the things that these people are doing. I don't agree with how they treat people. I don't agree with how they harass and stalk and bully people. None of this is content that should be acceptable. Yeah.
You harass and stalk and bully people. You bully people after they give you money to help you with something because they ask a question about where their money went. Don't take money from people. You won't have to answer to them.
Yeah, she made a big old statement about how she needed help, my help even, putting together a whole.
Yeah, this is the same thing, guys. So I think that that's it, right? I'm pretty sure that, let's see. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this just repeats itself, guys. That's what it does. It just repeats itself.
Stalk and bully people. None of this is content that should be accepted. None of this is relevant content at all.
Oh, then what do you wait, let's go.
So I was done, and I'm done with this crew and have been for quite some time now. If you've noticed, I haven't been over there very much. The vigil was one of my first appearances in a long time because I don't agree with the things that these people are doing. I don't agree with how they treat people. I don't agree with how they harass and stalk and bully people. None of this is content that should be accepted.
I have never seen any of the people mentioned that she mentioned yell at their subscribers the way you yell at yours. People that have given money. Morbid always says thank you to. You yell and scream, Fancy, because people ask you something. You are unhinged. Excuse me. You are filled with hate and you change on a dime. Look at your videos. Look at your videos because your videos will show you that.
None of this is relevant content at all to this case. My goal has always been for truth and honesty in this case. My goal has always been to.
That's not true. That's not true. You can't have it both ways. If it's always been truth and honesty, then how come it took you years to read through the medical records and use your head? You can't have it both ways. Either you read through the medical records and decided, oh shit, Gypsy's a liar. This is all wrong. And it took you actually 7 years to do that, where it took Becca Scoops 7 months to put a video out on it. And Nina, and even me, and even me. And Morbid's thing is, he doesn't care about the micro deletion. He is only talking about how Gypsy got away with murder. So what he cares about has really nothing to do with what you could bring to the table.
To expose the lies and expose how this all went down, regardless of.
Expose the lies? It took you 7 years.
What side I was ever on, because I could absolutely tell something was wrong from the.
It took you 7 years.
The very beginning. I just didn't know what yet. And
it took you 7 years.
That's why I did research. See,
7 years. All the information you have now, you've had for years.
Something that none of you bothered to do. You waited.
I'm going to choke on the next one. Watch.
Until I did it all for you.
She did all the research for us. The medical records. The medical records. How'd you get them all? Please tell us. What? How? Oh, that's right. The Blanchards, according to them, said you got them under false pretenses. Something to be proud of.
And then you stole my research and just started.
Oh, kind of like false pretenses. Something to be proud of.
Started making content with it without really crediting anybody that you got it from.
Fancy, you must really be a puny person, you know? Puny, you don't know how bad this shit looks for you. It's not a good look. Even under all of the what are those called that people use? Guys, what are those called that people use to make themselves look better? Please tell me, what are those called that people use? Filters. Filters.
But hey, I mean, whatever. She's got a source, she says, and it's a pretty damn good source. So what do you need me for? I don't think you need me for anything if you have what you have. But hey, I mean, I am the only one that can roast Christy the way that anybody could roast Christy because
Katie Joy could probably roast Christy. She can give you a run for your money. And look at how snide she gets. Look at how her lip curls up. I mean, you know, when you use that much filter, it shows. It explains a lot. So I'm going to stop interrupting. It's almost over. We're going to go and watch the rest of this because she doesn't need me to help her look stupid.
beginning. I just didn't know what yet. And that's why I did
But
research.
we're going to go back to this. Remember, it took her 7 years when it took the rest of us months. Please remember.
Agree with the things that these people are doing. I don't agree with how they treat people. I don't agree with how they harass and stalk and bully people. None of this is content that should be accepted. None of this is relevant content at all to this case. My goal has always been for truth and honesty in this case. My goal has always been to expose the lies and expose how this all went down, regardless of what side I was ever on. Because I could absolutely tell something was wrong from the very beginning. I just didn't know what yet. And that's why I did research. See, something that none of you bothered to do. You waited until I did it all for you. And then you stole my research and just started making content with it without really crediting anybody that you got it from. But hey, I mean, whatever. She's got a source, she says, and it's a pretty damn good source. So what do you need me for? I don't think you need me for anything if you have what you have. But hey, I mean, I am the only one that can roast Christy the way that anybody could roast Christy because, well, I have those conversations and you don't. So you have no right to speak on me or what I know or don't know. So here's the deal. I am going to continue doing what I do. That's research and evidence and running down the lies and putting a lid on all of this because I think after 8 years, I finally can. See, good things take time.
8 years.
I wasn't lazy. I didn't blow hard because I didn't know what I was doing. I simply knew I wasn't ready yet, but I am now.
Well, you certainly didn't know what you were doing because look at what you did to Dee Dee's legacy. Look at what you did to Nick. So if you knew what you were doing, why'd you do that? And guys, this is really the end of this right here. So, you know, she's going to continue doing her fame to claim her claim to fame here is that she knows how to roast. She knows how to roast Christy like nobody else, and that's very important to this case.
So 2025, we got some work to do. We got books.
I hope you go to therapy and get some work done.
Books to write. We have a documentary series.
And listen, I've given you a lot of ideas. So when you use one of mine, I expect to get the credit.
To put out. And you all have bullying and gossip, I guess. So, hey, you've got the market cornered on that.
No, they don't. You do. If you look at your videos and any of their videos, you could see how you go off on people and delete people and all that shit on your videos. I don't see it on their videos. I don't. Not Morbid's, not Flawless Nina. And Becca, you know, she hasn't gone live much. So what are you talking about? Guys, let's get rid of her. Let's get rid of her. Rid of her. How we doing? What are we thinking, guys? I'm here in this room with you. She is downright hateful because she's jelly. She a little jelly. I was freaking awesome today. I give you 100% credit for that. You were freaking awesome, and I should get credit for that because you were awesome. How's that work? Fancy's ego is out of pocket. You know, I just don't understand how Fancy has any. She's salacious. I can't wait to I really am looking forward to Morbid's live tonight because I'm off work. Um and I can't wait, but um I do have the Mike Rinder video that I want to put out. Mm. Somebody sent me a video of her possibly beating her dog. So somebody wrote something. Okay, Toddy, did you say yes? Somebody sent me a video while I was doing this where I guess her dog uh took a dump on somebody's bed or in somebody's room because somebody comes in while Fancy's on her live stream, and then you hear, like, but loud, like in a row, like with rhythm, the hitting of something being hit on something, and you hear a dog whelp. Yes, that's true. That is true. Yep. I have the video. You can't see it because you can only hear. So, I don't know. Please, please, please come on Morbids tonight. How much you gonna pay me? I'm kidding. I'm fancy. I don't know if I could be on it for a long time, but and I don't know what Morbid has on his show. He might have something that's already whatchamacallit, you know. Of course nobody has respect for animal abuse. Excuse me. In the meantime, she told the person, I guess, that she was gonna do something with the dog at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. You know, what do you want me to send Silnat? The video of her hitting the dog? Is that what you're asking me? You gonna put it up? I don't know. Morbid loves when you come on. Ah, thanks, man. Somebody sent me a video. Oh, I'm great. I'm so glad you got your bracelet. You got it. I think it took a while because it was coming to Scotland. Of course it took a while because it's coming to Scotland. It had to spread its little legs and swim across the Atlantic Ocean. I couldn't pay to have it fly across the Atlantic. I'm glad you got it. Estiana, that makes me really happy. I'm glad you got it. I want so bad to go back in Scotland. I would love to live there. I really would, but I don't know. Can you cover Fancy's prison confessions interview, please? I don't want to beat up on Fancy. I don't want my channel to be about that. But what she said in the video that I saw, I don't want to look for stuff to do that about, to be honest with you. Like, this came across, and this is something very, very real and now. I don't know, and I can't prove what Fancy knew back then in prison confessions. I can't. I can't. You know? For beating a superior, is it true she was kicked out of the military for beating a superior and shoving their head in a toilet? Does anyone know who? Fancy? Um, I wouldn't know about that. I I wouldn't think that, she could do that, but she's not a big woman, and back then she wasn't. any bigger. It doesn't matter. I mean, I guess if you I shouldn't say that because like if you are trained in certain martial arts or anything. Toddy, if you ever play this video, give us a notice. I cannot hear now. You can't really hear the animal doing that. It whelps. Um, yeah, fancy. Apple Charlotte, how you doing? Have you guys checked out Apple Charlotte's new channel? Because she lost her channel. I don't want to get into that, but she's got a new one. If you go to my community page, and you scroll down a little bit, it's there. And Apple Charlotte, for those that don't know, though, I'm sure everybody does. She's got a great Scottish accent, and you can hear that almost constantly when you get onto Morbid's panel. She's the one with the great Scottish accent. We love it. You have it in a video. She said she threw her dorm chief's head into the toilet and got into trouble in basic training. I just can't believe that, you know what I mean? Like you could just she must know jujitsu or something. I mean, and she doesn't. I don't think she does. 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 Can you hear Apple Charlotte say 1980 millennial? She didn't. She didn't. Toddy, I sent you email of my January letter. Okay, very cool. Very cool, Rebecca. I will see. I will see that. Oh, she has a black belt on stone. Shit. Okay. I believe that because I was gonna say it doesn't. I don't think she. I mean, like, you know, you can tell when somebody has had some sort of training and stuff. It's they sit a certain way and everything. It's a Scottish girl right here. All right, guys. So I know we love it. I love when they say murderer. You know, Simone Labib is one of my favorite actresses, and I had the maddest crush on her when she was in Bad Gals, and she would talk about Nikki. Are you a murderer? She didn't say she did it though. Stay in London with me in Scotland. Yeah, her accent reminded you. Oh, have you watched Bad Girls, Silnet? All right, guys. I think that Morbid's panel is gonna start, and I haven't eaten anything. So I'd like to do that. And I don't understand, man. I just got my clothes from the laundry, and they're supposed to use that free and clear, but I'm itchy, so I hope she remembered to use it. All right, guys. I gotta eat something. Which video did you upload? The one with the dog, Apple Charlotte? Yeah, I think she was probably lying about that. I love Bad Girls. Have a me too, JJ. Me too. Oh, you have to watch it. Murder. Smoke a fat one too, Toddy. I might do that. Oh, I don't do dabs. No, I didn't like that. I don't like that. I don't like the way that shit smells, to be honest with you. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end this live stream. And I'm going to say thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. Yes. And here, I know that this isn't about this. It's not about this. But Mike Rinder did leave this earth. And, you know, Godspeed. Godspeed. All right, guys. I loved Helen too. All right, guys. I'll uh I'll be listening. If I'm not on the panel, I'll be listening to Morbid. And everybody have a super great night. Okay. Thank you so much for being a part of this. I hope everybody hit the thumbs up. Thumbs up. I so appreciate you guys. Be good, okay? Don't forget, be better today than you were yesterday, not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Always be kind. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.